Welcome along to this special Rugby Obsession deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're getting stuck into the very latest on England rugby. Specifically, we're looking at Steve Borthwick's vision, how the squad's shaping up, some really exciting stuff happening.
Definitely. And our main source today is that Alex Spink piece on Planet Rugby, his 5 takeaways after the England selection for the U.S. test.
Exactly. So our mission really is just to pull out the key bits of insight for you so you get a clear picture of where England are heading. And look, if you enjoy this kind of analysis, please do make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession now, wherever you're listening.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really striking, I think, from these selections is how Borthwick's philosophy isn't just talk, is it? You can see it right there on the team sheet.
Totally.
It's not just about new faces for the sake of it. It feels like a very calculated approach, building a squad for a specific, maybe high-intensity game plan for the next few years, heading towards that next World Cup.
Spot on. And that brings us neatly to takeaway number 1. Borthwick's, his commitment to youth. It's really setting the tone, isn't it? I mean, the proof's right there. 4 new caps across the 2 tests in Argentina.
Yeah.
And now, looking ahead to the USA game in Washington, D.C. this Saturday, potentially 6 more. 3 starting, 3 on the bench.
And those guys in Argentina, they weren't just, filling jerseys. Seb Atkinson, Will Muir, Guy Pepper. They properly contributed in that first win.
Yeah, 35-12.
And then Luke Northmore in the second test, the 22-17 victory. He played his part too.
Right. And now for the U.S. match, Max Ojomoh, Joe Carpenter, Arthur Clark, they're all starting.
First starts for them.
And then Gabriel Oghre, Charlie Atkinson, Oscar Beard on the bench. It backs up what Borthwick said before the tour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the incredible talent in English rugby.
He's definitely backing that talk up with action. He's choosing potential, perhaps athleticism and adaptability over maybe proven immediate test experience in some cases. It feels like he's fast-tracking their development.
And he literally said, didn't he, the Argentina leg was fantastic for this squad. And this is the next step in the development of this young team.
Exactly.
So that next step, it seems to be about getting this new group to learn the system, grow together, rather than just plugging gaps. So for you listening in, what really stands out about this youth policy? Is it bold, maybe a bit risky, or just necessary for England long term?
Well, it certainly raises questions about how quickly they can all click at test level. That's always the challenge. But crucially, he's not just throwing them in completely raw, is he?
No, that's a really important point, which leads us to the balance, the experience that's still there.
Yeah, the safety net.
Exactly. And that's George Ford, isn't it? He's been called England's safety blanket, and you can see why.
Absolutely. 101 caps. Now 102 as he captains the side.
That experience, that calmness, it's huge. He was brilliant against Argentina. Just continued that great sail form. He's the guy who lets the new players actually play. Maybe take some pressure off, especially with young Charlie Atkinson getting his chance off the bench.
Ford's role is vital there. He's the one to, as the article says, settle down the other newbies and iron out any kinks. You need that seasoned head in there.
Definitely.
Especially in a key position like fly half. It guides the whole team. Though you could ask, does relying so heavily on one veteran maybe slow down the development of other leaders in the group?
Interesting point. A potential trade-off. But speaking of players really stepping up, Guy Pepper.
Wow.
Yeah, what a rise.
Incredible, isn't it? Comes on tour uncapped, finishes the season flying for Bath, and then looks completely at home in those 2 appearances off the bench against the Pumas. To the manner born, as you said.
Kevin Sinfield, the skills coach, was full of praise, too.
He was, wasn't he? Called him a standout, loved his fantastic attitude, described him as a big, powerful young man who's only going to get better.
And Sinfield made that point about him carrying his club form straight into the international setup. Yeah, brought it here.
And that's the acid test, really. Can you replicate what you do week in, week out for your club when you pull on that England shirt? The pressure's different, the intensity's different.
And Pepper certainly seems to have done that so far.
He really has. It's that consistency under pressure that marks out future test regulars. And look, if you're enjoying digging into these details with us and you want more exclusive stuff, more discussion, make sure you are subscribed to Rugby Obsession. It really helps us out.
Yeah, please do. Now, this focus on youth, it also shines a light on the clubs developing these players, doesn't it? And you can't ignore Sale Sharks here. It feels like a real endorsement for Alex Sanderson and the job he's doing.
Oh, massively. Sale were perhaps unfairly seen as a bit unfashionable for a while, maybe overlooked sometimes in selections.
That's definitely changed, though.
Completely. Had Tom Curry becoming a Lions starter, Luke Cowan-Dickey moving there and catching the eye.
And now, For this USA game, 5 Sharks in the 23.
5. Joe Carpenter getting his first cap at fullback. Forward captaining. Bevan Rod. Asher Apoka-Forger. Ben Curry on the bench.
And that's not even counting Tom Roebuck, who was man of the match in San Juan.
It's incredible. It shows Sanderson hasn't just signed talent. He's built a culture, an environment that's producing test-ready players. They reached the Premiership semis, and now they feel like a coming team internationally, too.
Yeah, that culture point is key. Now, shifting gears slightly, there's another point in the article that, well, made me nod along. The author's saying, what a shame England no longer play 3-match series on tour.
Ah, yes, the lament for the proper series.
Exactly. England's last one was Australia, 3 years ago now?
Feels longer.
And the argument is that a third test it makes it a real series. It plays with your head, builds the narrative, often leads to those tense deciders, like the Lions tours, where you rarely get a clean sweep these days.
Yeah, it adds a whole different dimension. Look, the USA match is important, no doubt. It puts rugby in the spotlight ahead of the 2031 World Cup there, helps grow the game stateside. That's all good stuff.
Sure.
But you can understand the author maybe nostalgically wishing they were still down in Argentina for a decider. Betting the series would still be live. It just changes the whole feel, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
That potential for a comeback or sealing the deal under maximum pressure, you lose that a bit with one-off games or 2 test visits. It can be a funny old game. Rugby and the structure of tours definitely impacts the stories we get. All right, so we've covered a fair bit there. Borthwick's youth drive, Ford's vital role, players like Guy Pepper bursting through.
Jill's influence growing.
Yeah, and that whole debate about tour formats, lots to chew on.
So, maybe a final thought for you listening. Considering everything we've talked about, Borthwick's youth focus, the changing tour structures, the build-up to future World Cups like 2031 in the U.S., what sort of future do you see for the international game? How might these trends shape rugby globally over the next decade or so?
Ooh, good question. We'd genuinely love to hear your perspectives on that. Get in touch on social media, wherever you follow Rugby Obsession. Your thoughts really add to the conversation.
Definitely.
And one last reminder, please do hit subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you catch all our future deep dives.
Please do.
A massive thank you for tuning into this Rugby Obsession deep dive. We really appreciate you listening, and we look forward to having you with us for the next one.